Hello, hello! My name is Kallista, and welcome back to Mass Effect Legendary Edition. In the last episode, we spoke with Garrus and Tali. We got another companion quest. We have to go track down some geneticists that Garrus was trying to find whilst he was in C-Sec. The guy sounds like a creep. He should be arrested. Absolutely. Now then, let's head on up. To Kaidan and Liara. Okie doke. Just a reminder, sir, I am the big gay. Do you have anything to speak to me about?
Do you have some time to talk now, Commander?
Sure, as long as it's not romantic.
Of course. Have a seat.
We've played it pretty close to the book so far, but we're a long way from backup. We've got some tough calls to make. I'm just saying, try to leave yourself a way out. I've seen what cutting corners can do, and I'd hate to have that happen to you, Shepard. Commander.
He is being incredibly friendly. Here's the thing, I don't think Naomi minds that, as long as it is purely friendly. You know what? Down the middle.
It's a personal observation, Kaidan.
I don't want to step on anyone else's toes, especially if you're if I have misread your interests.
Okay. Oh, I could go with any of these. He was gonna say, especially if you're a lesbian, and then he was like, I can't say the word. I'll reword it if I misread your interest, which he has. He absolutely has misread her interest. She is looking at him in a purely platonic way. Nothing romantic there at all. Here's what I'm thinking. Here's the thing, she would be down to discuss this. She would absolutely be down to be like, hey, just letting you know, I am a lesbian, I am the big gay, I've got it tattooed on me somewhere, like, I'm letting you all know I don't mind having a chat about my orientation. So I don't necessarily think that she'd be, you know, I don't think she has any, like, oh, no one can know I'm a lesbian, you know, this is my business, Alenka. Like, I don't think she'd be jumping down his throat to be like, back off. At the same time, I don't want to be so friendly that I end up romancing him. Am I making any sense here? I mean, he clearly means Liara. Although, hang on. I don't want to step on anyone else's toes. Here's the thing, that implies that Naomi and Liara have been flirting, which they haven't. If you're saying I don't want to step on anyone else's toes, that implies there are toes to step on. So, what are you talking about?
Someone? You're referring to our young Prothean expert.
I think she's older than both of us put together, but yeah. There's a lower deck rumor that she's interested in you. There's more than a source of Prothean data. She's a very interesting lady, to my tastes, but I never claimed to be big on alien culture.
I guess we're in there. Okay, Oh, okay. Okay, so are you jealous? That's clearly like, oh, Kaidan, are you jealous that could be someone else who's interested in me? This is clearly a flirt. No, thank you. It's not like that. I mean, here's the thing. It technically isn't. It technically isn't. At the same time, he's gonna take that as like oh, that means you are interested in me, which we are not. So I do think I have to go with this because I need to shut down the romance. This is a definite flirt. This could be interpreted as a flirt. I guess maybe... I wonder if maybe Naomi is doing this for Liara's benefit. You know, people are kind of gossiping, saying like, oh, like she's interested in the commander. She's clearly interested in the commander. And so perhaps Naomi is shutting this down as more of a like, oi, don't be gossiping about her. I kind of have to go with this because these two are gonna lead into a romance and I do not want that.
I don't think you should be prying into my affairs.
There's my answer then. I'm sorry to have bothered you, Commander. I got some mixed signals. With your permission, I should return to my duties.
He did not handle that badly at all. I'm quite happy with that. There was no, oh, why are you doing this to me? You flirted with me. No, I didn't. The game pushed me into doing that, but I didn't. You flirted with me. Like, he acted like a gentleman there. I will take that. I'm impressed with that, Kaidan. Good job. Do you have anything? I don't just want to, talk about romantic stuff with you. I want to know about your past. I want to know about Jump Zero and all the rest of it.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
Okay, fair dues.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Okie doke. Here's the thing, on one hand, I would have liked the option for Naomi to say, hey, I'm gay, I'm letting you know that, because I don't think Naomi has any shame about her sexuality. I don't think she's in the closet by any, meaning of the phrase. She is very much out and proud, and if you don't like it, then fuck you. So on one hand, I wish there had been an option to say, I'm gay, and that's how you would have shut Kaidan down. But at the same time, just like, hey, I don't appreciate you prying into my affairs. I think that worked. So anything? Okay, no, nothing over here. You two enjoying yourself? Hey, nice. And again, just in case, I like you, Chakwas. Do you have anything to say?
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
Sad times.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Okay, I'll keep checking in with you, Chakwas. I'll keep checking in.
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
Yeah, tell me more about you.
Maybe we could pick up where we left off. You were telling me about your interest in the Protheans.
Actually, I think I was talking about my interest in you, and making a fool of myself in the process. As I said, I am not used to dealing with people, especially humans. I did not really know much about your species when we first met, Shepard. I found it hard to take humanity seriously. Your kind always seemed so rushed and high-strung.
Well, yeah, we only live for, 90-odd years.
We don't have the luxury of time. And Asari can live for 1,000 years. We're lucky if we hit 150.
That is true. At first I thought that was a weakness of your species. After spending time with you and your crew, however, I think it may actually be an advantage. You humans are creatures of action. You pursue your goals with an almost indomitable determination. It is an admirable trait, but also an intimidating one.
I mean, that is fair. Humans do things their own way, and that is not always cohesive with what the council and other species are doing. Like, it does make sense that, you know, people would be intimidated by the humans.
You're scared of us?
Unfortunately, the rest of the galaxy sees humanity as something of a bully. You run over anyone in your path to get what you want. It is up to people like you to change their minds, Shepard.
Oh. I mean, I have said repeatedly, Naomi does want to be something of an inspiration. She's the first human Spectre. That doesn't really mean a lot to her, it's just a title, but people will look to her to be the example.
I'm doing the best I can, Liara.
There is a reason the Council chose you to become a Spectre. They saw something special in you. The best of what humanity has to offer. I looked into your history. I know what happened on Akuz. The fact that you survived shows a remarkable strength.
You didn't need to go behind my back. I would have told you whatever you wanted to know.
I apologize, Commander. After our last conversation, I was afraid I would say something stupid again. I wanted to know more about you, to understand what made you into the woman you are. There is something compelling about you, Shepard.
Okay, why can we shut this down, but not Kaidan? Why was this not an option before? I am annoyed. I am frustrated. I am saying that through laughter. But I find it so odd that they'd be like, oh, we need to make sure that the player has an option of shutting this down immediately. But for Kaidan, oh no, like, no, you don't need to shut that down. Here's what I'm thinking right now. Because on one hand, I do think that Naomi would think Liara is very attractive. I think she is a very beautiful lady, and I think Naomi would probably feel that way as well. I don't think Naomi would see any harm in a bit of flirting here. I don't think... Like, here's the thing. If this had come up with Kaidan, she would have absolutely gone with this immediately. However, I don't think she'd be so, like, you know, oh, I need to shut this shit down. I need to shut this down right now. I don't think she'd be thinking that. You know, with Liara's very obvious attempts at flirting. Here's the thing, these aren't really flirts either. Yet you're really interested in the Protheans. I want to believe that you find me compelling, but are you really just saying this because I touched that Prothean beacon doodad? I like that Shepard isn't flirting with Liara right now. I like that. Because, I mean, here's the thing. This is technically our second conversation with her. This is... You know, it's going quite quick, and I get that it's because, you know, this is a relatively shorter game. There isn't as much time to build up those necessary relationships, but still, this is only the second time we've spoken to her. So I like that we're not really being given the option to flirt back.
Are you sure you're interested in me? Or is it my visions of the Protheans?
I admit, your connection to the Protheans had something to do with my initial interest, but it has grown beyond that. You intrigue me, Shepard, but I was not sure if it was appropriate to act on my feelings. I thought there might already be a relationship between you and Lieutenant Alenko.
Who is spreading these rumors? Who is spreading these rumors? You're female! Naomi, you're gay. Of course she's female. She'd have to be female. Kaidan's special in a platonic way. He is our special friend. That's private. There's nothing going on. It's not serious. There's nothing going on. Why is there not an option to be like, yeah, no, I'm gay, I'm not interested in Kaidan? Or even just to say like, no, I'm not interested in him. He's not my type. Why are there no definitives? Not this one. Absolutely not this one. I guess I have to go with this? This implies that we're interested in Kaidan. We're absolutely not. This also implies that we're interested in Kaidan. I guess I have to go down the middle.
The lieutenant and I are just friends. Nothing more.
My mistake, then. I am not as adept at understanding human relationships as I thought. But what about us, Shepard? Is there a mutual attraction, or was I wrong about that too?
Oh, I don't know what to go with here. Here's the thing, she isn't wrong. She absolutely isn't wrong. I do think that Naomi would find Liara to be quite attractive. And they did have that conversation where... Here's the thing, it's one thing to find someone attractive, it's entirely another to find someone attractive and discover, oh shit, we actually have stuff in common. Because I think Naomi's first impression would have been like, okay, she's kind of hot. Not that there are no kinders about it. Liara is very hot. Like, she's attractive, but she seems like this rich girl who has probably absolutely nothing in common with me. We will not be able to find any mutual ground. Like, I don't think Naomi thought that they'd be arguing and butting heads, but she believed we have nothing in common. We have nothing in common. Like, at best we can be, friendly, but, we probably won't ever be able to, connect to each other on a deeper level. And then as it turned out, like, oh shit, you have this issue about how you never knew your father, for want of a better term, and the Asari looked down on you for being a pureblood. I never knew my father, and I've been looked down upon by other members of the military for where I come from, for being earthborn and, being raised in the slums and having gang affiliations. I've been looked down on for that. We do have similarities. There are things that connect us. We have common ground. It's the fact that this is the second time we've spoken to this girl. If this was happening, maybe after, probably after the second quest, maybe if this was like the fourth or fifth time, then I'd probably be a lot more certain in what I was doing, but it's only the second time. I will admit, after their first conversation, I did have like a ooh moment. When something I do is I do have a tendency of associating songs with characters. Sometimes I know what those songs are when I'm creating them. So with Amelia Hawke, the character I played for Dragon Age 2, when I was kind of creating her personality and her backstory, I knew that the song I associated with her was the final song from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I've done a lot. Oh God, what are the words? I've done a lot. God knows I've tried to find the truth. I've even lied. And all I know is deep inside I'm bleeding. because I knew, I was like, girl, you are gonna make so many bad choices and you are gonna suffer so much. Like, I knew, I associated it with her from the get-go. But Artin, my Grey Warden from Dragon Age Origins, when I created her, I didn't really have a song in mind. However, when because here's the thing, this isn't, sometimes the song is associated with like a particular cutscene or a particular moment. And here's the thing, they're not always like major story beats. So for Artin, when she entered the map that leads to the Frostback Mountains and the entrance to Orzammar, because she was a dwarven noble, and there is no cutscene associated with this. There is no cutscene. You literally just enter the map and you have to walk from place A to place B to get to the big fuck off gate. As I was doing that, Country Roads by John Denver. The country roads take me home to the place I belong. You know, that one. It just popped into my head and I was like, oh yeah, because she's going home. She is going to confront her brother. Like, it ties so many elements of her story together, even though it isn't a major plot point within the narrative structure of the game. I was like, yeah, that moment, and that kind of became, you know, Artin's moment, Artin's song. With Naomi, I didn't have a song in mind for her when I was creating her. However, after that conversation with Liara, Uptown Girl by Billy Joel came into my head. You know the one. Uptown Girl, she's been living in a... Oh god, I don't know the words. It's been such a long time since I've listened to it. She's been living in her white bread world. I don't know the words. Something about her mother never told her what. Oh, I bet she's never... Oh god. I bet she's never been with a Backstreet guy. I bet her mama never told her why. Something like that. Again, my apologies for my shitty attempts at singing. But that kind of popped into my head. And ever since then, I've associated Naomi with that song. And when that happens, my brain automatically goes, okay, this is an important moment for the character. It may not be important in terms of the narrative of the game, but for Naomi, this conversation, this realization that she has a lot in common with Liara, it is important to her. And I did kind of thought, ooh, maybe between these two, something could work out. But it's so early. It's so early into the game. Because here's the thing, at this moment in time, I think what Naomi is thinking, she'd be like, oh, like, we could have a bit of fun together. She's not looking for, like, I want to find the one I love. Like, she's not interested in that. I don't think Naomi has ever really been in a serious long-term relationship. She's had sex. She's had a lot of sex. She has a lot of one-night stands whenever she's, you know, on shore leave. But I don't think she's ever really been interested in an actual, like, long-term, hey, we're girlfriends, maybe we're gonna get married one day kind of relationship. She's never been interested in that. As such, you know, on one hand, you know, I absolutely could see her being like, yeah, I am attracted to you because I want to have sex with you. Full stop. However, this could be worded in like a, yeah, I love you and I want to marry you one day, which is, Naomi would never say that. Naomi wouldn't say that. So, like, you know, by that logic, I should go with, I just want to be friends. But that could close off the option. I don't want to fully close the door. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna pause the recording right here and I'm very quickly gonna Google if saying I just want to be friends closes off the option for romance with Liara. I need to check that. 1 second. Okie doke, and I am back, and I could not find a definitive answer. I saw guides for how to romance her and how to avoid romancing her, but I couldn't find anything on, like, can you turn her down and then pick up the romance later. I didn't find anything related to that, so I'm gonna have to go with my gut here. Here's the thing, I think if this does come out as, oh yeah, I love you and I want to marry you, I think I'll reload. To be brutally honest, I think I will reload, do the exact same decisions in the chat with Kaidan, and then do this again, because Naomi wouldn't say that. At this stage, Naomi is thinking like, hey, maybe we could have some casual fun together. She's not looking for a serious relationship. Because here's the thing, she is attracted to Liara. She is attracted to her, and I think she's very happily surprised that, like, oh shit, we do have stuff in common. But she's not interested in any kind of serious relationship. Because we've really only just met this girl, so... I think Naomi doesn't see the harm in saying, you know, like, yeah, I am attracted to you. Again, I just... Please don't come out too strong. Please don't.
No, you were right. There is something between us.
I knew it, and I knew you felt it too. But does this not seem rather strange? Why do I feel so close to you? We have only known each other a short time. We are from two different species. We have almost nothing in common. This makes no sense.
I like that. I like that. Just so, like, no, you're right, there is something between us. Because like I said, after their first chat and, you know, Uptown Girl kind of popped into my head, you know, I was, oh shit, there is something there. I wasn't expecting there to be, but there is something there. Now, I will say, Liara is coming on much stronger than Naomi. Like I said, from Naomi's perspective, she's like, casual sex? Whereas Liara is coming at this from much more of like a, oh, we have this bond, this connection. Oh. It makes no sense. This is coming on quite strong. We have one thing in common. We both want to bone. I think, because here's the thing, Naomi will have had countless sexual partners because they've all been one-night stands. And Liara is giving me virgin vibes, not gonna lie. And as such, I think Naomi would be wary of coming on too strong to kind of frighten her off. You know, she may respond badly for this. I'm drawn to this one. Because here's the thing, like, it doesn't have to me, I read that as like, it doesn't have to make sense. When you are two hearts in love, you come together, like, I read that as playing into what Liara is saying, whereas this, you know, don't analyze this, it really isn't that deep. Yeah, I do think there is that juxtaposition. I think Liara is looking for a relationship, whereas Naomi is like, let's keep this casual.
Quit thinking like a scientist. Logic doesn't work when it comes to relationships. Just let yourself get swept up in the storm.
You make it sound so chaotic, so dangerous.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. Because again, I don't think Naomi is looking for a relationship. Not at this stage. Yes, she feels a bond with Liara, but she has no experience with actual long-term relationships, and as such, you know, I don't think she'd be looking for that. Here's the thing, maybe she said relationships to put Liara at ease. Yeah, I can get behind that. And again, this is sounding like, oh, I'll protect you, dear heart. You know, again, I'm drawn to the middle option. You know, checking in like, hey, you know, are you okay? Are you scared about this? Because, like, if you are scared, then maybe you shouldn't be... Maybe we shouldn't do anything.
Don't tell me a little danger puts you off.
This is all a bit overwhelming. I am not used to this. I need some time.
Yeah, that is completely understandable.
Take all the time you need, Liara. I'll be here.
Thank you, Shepard. Let's just talk about something else for now.
Yeah, I think where Naomi is, she's looking for, you know, casual fun, whereas Liara, I think, is looking for more of a relationship. I wish I'd have been able to find something on whether you could say, hey, I just want to be friends, and then pick up the relationship later. I wish I'd been able to find that, but all the guides I found were very much like a, hey, if you want to romance Liara because you want to see a sex scene with a blue lady, then here's how to do it. It wasn't from like a role player's perspective. It was just like a, here's how you see the sex scene. Here's how you get the achievement. Here's the thing, I don't necessarily regret that conversation because like I said, I do think that Naomi finds Liara attractive. And here's the thing, I would assume that before any sex scene occurs, I would assume they would give you the option to lock in. So if we get that far and it still doesn't feel right, then we can always have Naomi pull back. I would rather have the option be there than refuse it because I think, oh, I can pick it up later only to find that, yeah, no, you can't. That was your one chance. That was your one chance. If you didn't take it then you can never take it. I would always prefer that option to be there and to refuse it later, but we have the option. Am I making any sense? I hope I'm making sense. Goodbye.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
Ta-ra! Alrighty then, but that is all of the crew spoken to. So let's head on up. And there. No, that's just Presley. Okay, yeah, let's bring this to a close right here. And again, anything new? No. Okay, Asari religion. The pantheistic mainstream Asari religion is Siari, which translates roughly as all is one. The faithful agree on certain core truths. The universe is a consciousness. Every life within it is an aspect of the greater whole, and death is a merging of one's spiritual energy back into the greater universal consciousness. Siarists don't specifically believe in reincarnation. They believe that spiritual energy returned to the universal consciousness upon death will eventually be used to fill new mortal vessels. Siari became popular after the Asari left their homeworld and discovered their ability to meld with nearly any form of life. This ability is seen as proof that all life is fundamentally similar. Siari priestesses use their role as Siari priestesses see their role as promoting unity between the disparate shards of the universe's awareness. Before the rise of Siari pantheism, Asari religions were as diverse as their political opinions. The strongest survivor of the... Again, I'm sorry, the back room is heating up at this point. It's really heating up and the heat is getting to me. Oh, water. Water, I love you. Oh, there we go. That is so much better. Okay. Take 2. Before the rise of Siari pantheism, Asari religions were as diverse as their political opinions. The strongest survivor of those days is the monotheistic religion worshipping the goddess Athame. Like the Asari, the goddess cycles through the triple aspects of maiden, matron, and matriarch. There we go. Is there new stuff here, or isn't there? Okay, there we go. Quarians' religion. The ancient Quarians practiced ancestor worship. Even after abandoning faith for secularism, Quarians continued to revere the wisdom of elders. As time passed and technology advanced, they inevitably turned their knowledge to preserving the personalities and memories of the elderly as computer virtual intelligences. These recordings became a repository of knowledge and wisdom, stored in central databank and available through any extranet connection. They held no illusions that this was a form of immortality. Like all virtual intelligences, their electronically preserved ancestors were not truly sapient. They were considered a surmountable problem. Sapience could surely be reduced to simple mathematics. The Quarians began exhaustive research into creating artificial intelligence so they could learn to escape the bounds of mortality and give their ancestral records true awareness. Unfortunately, the life the Quarians created did not accept the same truths they did. The Geth destroyed the ancestor databanks when they took over. In the centuries since they evacuated their homeworld, most Quarians have returned to religion in various forms. Many believe that the rise of the Geth and the destruction of their ancestors were chastisement for arrogantly forsaking the old ways and venerating self-made idols. Others have a more philosophical outlook, believing that their race was indeed arrogant, but no supernatural agency lay behind the Geth revolt. Rather, the Quarians' actions wrought their own doom. Either way, every Quarian would agree that their own hubris cost them their homeworld. Okay. Citadel Station, wards. The majority of the Citadel's population lives in the wards, the 5 massive arms of the station that house the residential and commercial districts. Many galactic races have established cultural enclaves here. Population density and cost of living are extremely high, akin to Earth cities such as Hong Kong and Singapore. The wards are open-topped, with skyscrapers rising from the superstructure. Towers are sealed against vacuum, as the breathable atmosphere envelope is only maintained to a height of about 7 meters. The atmosphere is contained by the centrifugal force of rotation and a membrane of dense, colourless sulfur hexafluoride gas, held in place by carefully managed mass effect fields. The view from the wards is spectacular. In the background, stars, Serpent Nebula, and the nearby blue giant called the Widow move across the sky as the station rotates to stabilize itself. In the foreground, the lights of buildings and vehicles on the opposing ward arms perpetually shine. The Citadel has no real day or night. While the station keeps to standard galactic time for political functions, businesses rarely close, and residents acclimate to sleep and work according to personal need rather than a day-night cycle. Additions and modifications are constantly being constructed, though they must stay within certain specifications that will not compromise the operation of the station. Occasionally, the keepers will descend on an area of the wards and move or change the architecture without explanation. Residents have learned to live with these inexplicable intrusions. Okay, lovely jubbly. In the next episode, we begin Bring Down the Sky. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Kallista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.